Hi everyone, it's FullyCustom and I'm back again for a video from Mr. Love, and today we're going to go through the how to pass stages sort of video. So basically, if you're really stuck on a level and you're really not sure on how you can pass it, or you want to get that extra crown so you don't have to keep redoing the level manually, you can just do it automatically. Hopefully this something that I say in this video is going to help. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing to do is go to the karma cards on the homepage. All of these will be able to tell you what attributes you have for each of the cards that you own. So as for this one with the Lucian Fireflies, I'm currently at level 15, and these are the 4 areas that you get judged on in the level. So there's decision, creativity, affinity and execution. All of those 4 topics will all make a difference within the level. So if they say they want a card with affinity and execution, picking the right cards is always going to make you have a better score, and also knowing what your best cards are in a way. So SR cards are always going to be your best cards, because when you level them up you've kind of got more to upgrade, where with some of the R cards or normal cards you can't level them up that much. So it's best to kind of always work with what you have, but also if you can try and put a draw into Wish Tree or gain that SR card in whatever way you want to do it. It's always best to do that way. So as for this, you can see the 4 areas at the bottom, and you can see how much they would help in the level. So this card would be great in a decision, affinity and execution, but not very much in creativity. And it will slowly up those levels as you upgrade the card. So upgrading the card is by giving it experience. So currently I'm at level 15 experience, and if you star it up, that also helps, and it tells you at the bottom how much benefit starring it up will give it. And as for the materials for each of the cards, you can upgrade cards, but at a certain point, so if I reach level 20 upgrade, it will let me star up the card, which will make it more powerful, but also you'll get rewards for it too. So 2 star, 3 star, 4 star and 5 star all give you karma promises, plus also you get like cool things within the phone, so you'll get like an SMS or a moment with Lucian because of this. As for the materials, the way you collect them is through levels. So if say so for this upgrade I need 5 tea leaves, 6 keychains and 4 talismans. If you click on those, they'll be able to tell you how you get them. So this is 2-7, this one is 2-17, and this one is 2-18. So you have to go back and redo those levels till you gain the amount of materials that you need to be able to start up the thing, and it will also cost 5,000 gold. So let's move on to the company. So another good way to get a good head start with any level is to have your company the highest possible experience and level it can be. There's a couple of ways to do this. So your company will slowly gain experience over time, but also if you have any training, so I've got creative thinking here, it will add to the company's 4 areas. So at the minute those are the points that I have for the 4 areas, and if I gain training cards or things in those areas, it will help it become like a base foundation for any level. So it doesn't matter what card you have or what training you'll have, you'll always have your company. So that will always be a great thing to work on and gain more experience within. As for your experts also help, so I'll give you that push when you need the cards. So if you feel like your cards are a little lacking and you really don't have a good card for execution or creativity or whatever it is, having good experts in your team will be able to help you get that boost, so that your cards can be not as experienced as maybe the game wants them to be. So you can kind of push the company and the experts as far as you can and make sure that they're giving you the most amount of points you possibly can, and then your cards can kind of come in too. Obviously it's always good to have really good cards, but this is also great is that if the level is really, really difficult and you're really not sure on what you're doing wrong with the cards and you just can't upgrade them at the moment, or you run out of stamina, having good experts and training within the company always helps give that base layer. And you can gain more experts within the game just by playing the game, but you can also go to the talent market and hire new experts, and make sure you're picking experts of things that you don't necessarily have at the moment. So if you're missing someone who, say, is good at editing or fight or whatever it is, it's always good to pick your talent, your experts, as best you possibly can. So let's move on to a level. And just as like a reiteration, so I'm going to click 111. Like I said, this telescope, I don't currently own it. This will be a material to help upgrade a card that I have. You can only star up SR cards, if I recall correctly. Let me just double check that. Or you can upgrade the R cards. It's just the normal cards. So R cards can be upgraded and SR cards can be upgraded, but not N normal cards. So when you have materials, you will need to redo levels. Like, you won't just gain the amount of materials you need, you'll have to use stamina and go back to levels that the karma card is requiring you to play to get the amount of materials. So just make sure to not forget that. If you're worried like, oh, I'm stuck and I don't know where I get this material from, or I only just got one, it's just about replaying the levels until you get that amount. And always remember that some stages are going to be harder for beginners. So especially if you feel like your cards are a little lacking at that moment, don't really worry about it, because you will get more upgrades and your company will get better leveled. And the best thing you can do is play through the chapters as best you can. You can always go back and play them again to get that third crown. It's just about playing through the levels how you want to play through them. So I'm just going to play this now. So if you want to see what keywords come under an expert while you're in level, you can hover over there. You can click, hold down, and it'll show you all their things. So for Tysona, we've got fights. We're going to use her. And like I said, once you get upgraded well enough, when you go back to to chapter 1, as you can see, like, I've already cleared the stage with 3 stars because of the amount of training that I've given to my experts, and I'll go through training in a second for the experts. So decision and affinity. If you want to find out the numbers you've got for each of these, you can also click the tabs. So if you're looking just for decision, just for affinity, I always suggest pick the cards that are in sort of both areas, and you can always kind of go back and go, well, that one's going to be, I might get rid of this one and put this one on instead. And you can look at the numbers if they're changing to be any better. So this one gives it 1400 and this one gives 1400 thing, and it's just about picking the right card. So I'm going to go for this one and we'll confirm. And the last summon button that was just up there, you can also do that if you play the level but you haven't got that second crown. You can click that and it'll tell you what you last used. Obviously that might not be any good if you've now got SR cards and you were using normal cards, but it's always a good base to work from if you're not really sure what you used last time. And then release video and then you'll get your score. And see, I got the material now, but I'd have to play that level how many times the karma card asked me to get that amount of material. Say it wanted 5, I'd have to play the level as many times until I got that amount, and it'll tell you if I end in there. If I click on it now, it tells me owned 1. So if you say remake 5 times, I'll remake 5 times for this, and then now it tells me 2. So you've just got to keep checking that and make sure you've got enough for what the card is asking you to have. So as for experts, we're just going to go this is our final thing. You can train experts, so if you click on them, you can upgrade them, and the higher the level, the more power they have over a certain area. So for Christian, he has decision, and it's just upped him by 4 points, which can always be helpful in the levels. Same with Cherry, if I upgrade her, she goes up to 35 now for execution. And it's just these little things that can always help you get through a level. And if you're incredibly stuck, always just make sure to go check your cards, see if you can upgrade them any better. Check your experts, see if you can train them any better. And then your gold, if you have the gems or the tickets or even gold, have a go in Wish Tree and see what cards you can get and see if they'll help you. And I think it's just more about playing the levels, getting that experience, and then you can always go back. But also if you are just stuck, just make sure you go through those 3 elements. And if you're like, I can't start up a card, I don't know where I'm starting, make sure you've got enough materials to be able to start it up. Make sure you've got enough experience, origami, birds to give it experience and level it up too. So I hope that was helpful, and hopefully I'll do the video soon. Thank you.